One trade 20 years ago accidentally built both NBA Finals teams in 2025. A trade 20 years ago. I wonder what trade was 20 years ago in 2005. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't no like super big basketball fan, so no.
Every NBA Finals has a story. The 2025 NBA Finals is a story that starts.
Why this nigga voice so deep? Back up from the microphone. She not gonna fuck you.
Started with a trade no one paid attention to. Just one player sent out for almost nothing in return. And yet, that single move triggered a chain reaction. A butterfly effect that reshaped
this might be a reach.
Two franchises.
I'm gonna listen to it though.
On opposite ends of the league. And nearly 2 decades later, brought them face to face on the biggest.
And the other reason why I say that is because you can say that about every trade. You can say that about every, because let's say, even the trade before that, let's say the Lakers never traded Shaq and traded Kobe instead to the Heat or to whatever, and then that changed the trajectory of everything. So I wouldn't say this.
Biggest stage. No other finals in NBA history has a backstory like this. Let me show you how it all began.
Let's just see. I'm gonna have an open ear though.
It's a chilly night in Seattle.
Yeah.
The summer of 2007 was a funeral in slow motion for the Seattle Supersonics.
The corner's Ray Allen. Turns off the James Green. A tough three.
Damn.
Ray Allen had just been shipped to Boston, and the ownership was loading boxes, heading to Oklahoma. Rashard Lewis, the second-round pick, who blossomed into a 22-point flamethrower, was walking out the door.
I wonder what made them like. I feel like Seattle's a bigger market than fucking Oklahoma.
He was headed to Orlando to sign a massive contract. Seattle could have let him go for nothing, but Sam Presti doesn't work like that.
My job is to think in the best interest of the organization long term, something that can be sustained.
On July 11th, 2007, the Sonics orchestrated a sign-in trade, not for a rising prospect or a future lottery pick, but for a second-round pick. Less than 10 days later, on July 20th, Presti sent the second-round pick for Kurt Thomas and 2 first-round picks.
Huh? Yeah, basketball trades don't be making no fucking sense. This is why I love football, man. Basketball trades don't be making no fucking sense. What do you mean? They gave up a player and 2 first-round picks for a second-round pick? Yeah, imagine this happens in football. Nigga, that GM is getting fired within 30 seconds.
The Phoenix Suns were contenders. They couldn't care less about those 2 picks. But Presti wasn't done casting spells just yet. One became Quincy Pondexter.
Ooh, that's a name.
An unspectacular journeyman, but the other?
No, Justin, that wasn't a 3-team trade. That was just those are two-team trades.
Supersonic.
I wonder if we ever will get a 3-team trade in football. I want to see it. I really do. I really want to see a 3-team trade in football. Like that'd be so gas. That'd be so. What do you mean? No, that'd be gas. Could you imagine if? I mean, essentially, it is 3-team trades. It's like during the draft, it happens a lot, but it's not with 3 teams. It ends up being like, you know, a team will trade and then a team will trade again, like the Eagles. Then they traded twice in the same round, so it's 3-team trade, but it ain't really a 3-team trade, you know.
Select Serge Ibaka from Brazzaville of the Republic of Congo.
Serge Ibaka, a 6-foot
Yo, get out of here, Tom.
10 rim destroyer out of Congo. And that was just the beginning. Kevin Durant, was already there. Russell Westbrook arrived next. Then, James Harden. By 2012, the OKC Thunder weren't rebuilding anymore.
GM Sam Presti, look at this team that you've put on the floor, going to the NBA Finals.
It's remarkable. It really is. It's a credit to the coaches and the players. We've just got a special group of people.
But far across the country, another storm was gathering. It was 2013.
Put that tequila down and get some water. Earl Andnam told me to tell you to drink some more BC. You need it.
I did, but I got you. The 2-3-2 format is so ass.
And the Indiana Pacers were led by...
Here comes George. Got the step and stops one move and catches.
We are seeing a superstar in the making here.
He let it go. How far was that?
Ridiculous.
Paul George led the Pacers to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they stood eye to eye with the defending champions. The Thunder and the Pacers, two young teams, were hungry, and they wanted more. But the future doesn't come in straight
I'm not even going to ask you no more, Cam.
lines. In Indiana, the gears began to grind. Paul George was blossoming into a superstar, but around him, the foundation was cracking. The chemistry that once felt bulletproof now felt brittle.
For the fourth consecutive year, the Miami Heat are heading to the NBA Finals.
And in Oklahoma, the dream was splintering. Just months after reaching the finals, James Harden was traded to Houston. They still had Durant. They still had Westbrook. They still had hope. But hope doesn't last forever. In 2016, with a 3-1 lead against the Warriors, Oklahoma came within touching distance of redemption. And then it vanished.
The Warriors do it by becoming only the 10th team out of 243 to win a best-of-7 series.
This was crazy.
Trailing 3 games to 1.
When the dust
Nigga, I been said Jokic should have won. It's just called voters fatigue.
settled, Kevin Durant chose Golden State. It was betrayal. In the wake of the heartbreak, Sam Presti went back to work. He traded Ibaka to the Magic for a new pair of hopefuls, Victor Oladipo, and a rookie with a legendary last name, Domantas Sabonis. The headlines were about the Fury.
I forgot Sabonis did play for them.
Russell Westbrook was all that remained. The 2016-17 season became a one-man symphony of vengeance.
Westbrook quickly turning into a three. With 2.5 seconds remaining,
Westbrook didn't just play basketball. He declared war. He averaged a triple-double and won the MVP.
This was a crazy year.
And in his shadow, something unexpected was happening. Oladipo had become quicker and more confident.
Westbrook, oh, and a pass, and Oladipo finishes.
Sabonis
This is McDermott for Sabonis. Oh!
was blossoming into something special. And before anyone could truly notice, they were gone. In the summer of
That's crazy.
2017, Oklahoma City sent both Oladipo and Sabonis to Indiana in exchange for Paul George. Two teams, bound by the same thread, trading pieces of each other's futures, and neither would ever be the same. In Indiana, Oladipo exploded. Sabonis, too, found his rhythm. Together, they carried Indiana to 48 wins in the first round, pushing LeBron James and the Cavaliers.
Let's give me the ball.
James, 2 seconds, 1 second to the win. Oh! LeBron James delivers. That's a winner in Cleveland.
But it didn't feel like a loss. It felt like an arrival. Meanwhile, in Oklahoma City, Paul George found his own crescendo.
Westbrook over to George. George got the flyby. 3 on the way. It's gone with 3.1 seconds. George gives the Thunder the 2-point lead.
Real fucking
By
hoops.
2019, he wasn't just an all-star. He was third in both MVP and DPOY voting. Alongside Westbrook, he made the Thunder terrifying again. And for the briefest moment, it felt like the road had curved back toward destiny. But fate is impatient, and destiny rarely waits.
Damian Lillard from way downtown.
In Oklahoma City, it was a gut.
It's still a bad shot. It don't matter how you cut, carve, shape. That is a terrible shot. I don't give a fuck. That is a terrible shot. that is a terrible. That is an awful shot. No, that is a bad shot for Dame. Yeah, that's a bad shot. I'd make it. Yeah, okay. What is this? Let me see.
Gut punch, fresh
bad
off
shot.
a near MVP season, was suddenly asking out, and Sam Presti answered, but he didn't just fold. He rewrote the rules of value. For Paul George, the Thunder received Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, and a haul of draft picks so large it felt mythological. It wasn't a trade, it was a heist. And Presti, always 3 steps ahead, wasn't done. He flipped Westbrook to Houston. In return, Oklahoma received a mentor, Chris Paul. At 34, most thought
Okay, I see why he titled the video the way he did, the way he broke it down. Okay, I get it.
Paul's best days were behind him. But that season in Oklahoma was resurrection. He taught, he led, he carved the game into chapters for Shai to read.
With a player like Chris, who draws so much attention, makes it easy for the rest of us.
And quietly, the Thunder began building again. Meanwhile, back in Indiana, the dream was cracking again. Oladipo began to falter, not from lack of will, but from a body that refused to cooperate. In 2021, the Pacers moved Oladipo to Houston in return for Karis LeVert and draft picks. By 2022, Domantas Sabonis was traded to Sacramento. In return came Tyrese Halliburton.
Wat_hiatus has all the power. All the power is in their hands.
Teams that
What will they
couldn't
do
quite
with
see
it?
it yet,
Who will they
but
time
Indiana
out?
did. Just
you
as
gotta
Indiana
rebuttal.
had Halliburton,
He gets a rebuttal.
Oklahoma had Shai, and now it was
Undo it, he gets
time
a
to
rebuttal.
build around them. The 2022 draft came like clockwork. With the 12th pick
He can
from the
balance it out.
Clippers
Unless he don't
trade,
want to.
Oklahoma took Jalen Williams. By the time the 2023 All-Star Weekend arrived, the league could no longer look away. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Tyrese Halliburton both became first-time All-Stars, and the story was just beginning.
Okay, now I see why he titled it the way he titled it, because it makes sense now.
The moves didn't stop, because once the foundation is laid, the climb begins. In 2023, Sam Presti struck again, another Clippers pick. This one at 12th overall was sent to Dallas in exchange for the 10th pick. With that selection, the Thunder chose Cason Wallace, another piece. In Indiana, the stakes rose too. They swung big, acquiring Pascal Siakam from Toronto. In exchange, they gave up Bruce Brown and picks. One of those picks, a piece they'd once received for Victor Oladipo. Paul George sparked the arrival of Oladipo. Oladipo led to picks, and those picks, they brought in Pascal Siakam, an all-star, a two-way force, a veteran with championship experience. From one trade to another, the ripple became a wave.
Well, I'm going to the NBA Finals, man.
It feels good?
Yeah, man, feels good. Feels really good.
Long
It
term,
makes sense
something
now.
that can be sustained, something that in time we'll look back on and say, you know what, these were tough decisions, but ultimately they were the right decisions for the organization.
For the first time since 2012, since the days of KD, Russ, and Harden, Oklahoma City is in the NBA Finals.
What are you most proud of about what your team has been able to accomplish so far?
I'd expand it past this year. Shout out to Mr. Bennett, who had a vision 17 years ago. He has tied this team to the community, and Sam, who's been here all 17 years, he's brought that vision to life, and they've provided an unbelievable experience for everybody that works here, including the players and all of our fans. Just one thing for our fans, rest up this week because we need you Thursday.
What's Thursday?
The Pacers moved like ghosts. For the first time since 2000, the Pacers are back in the NBA Finals.
You know what it is? You know what it is? Stephen A., Salome, have it your way. Pacers is sick.
No, it don't hit the same, man. God, everybody want to be like the fucking Lakers, bro. Like, just get y'all own shit. Y'all got that yes sir shit. Person 6. It don't hit the same, nigga. That shit weak. That shit weak.
Two franchises, one from the flatlands of Oklahoma and another from the heartland of Indiana, built brick by brick from the same ancestral trade, face each other in the 2025 NBA Finals. This entire saga traces back to one transaction so obscure, it barely made any headlines. From the ashes of a forgotten deal rose a destiny that could no longer be denied.